Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. I shall see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today in the rare episode which I'm actually recording at a reasonable hour. OMG. Who'd have thunk it? And the reason I'm recording it at a reasonable hour is because I probably actually will be doing a stream later today. It's a very much a catch-up stream. Wait, do I have a... Hold on, I gotta check this. I don't know if I have an Isle of Seen Sky video for tomorrow. I don't. Okay. Noted. No, wait, tomorrow's Thursday. Okay, it's in Stars and Time, we're saved. Hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow at 6:07 PM on Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026. Basically it's TLDR because I was on holiday. Of course, there were not many streams for me, and I couldn't really run over in a lot of the streams, to be honest. So I basically have not finished the thumbnail art, and at the end of last stream, I was like, okay, I could either run over a significant amount to finish this off, or I just do a catch-up stream at some point. So I decided on doing a catch-up stream. I just realised my stream deck, you have not loaded in. What's happened here? Maybe I just relaunch it. But yeah, I don't know. Stream deck, what's going on? Hello? It's not even opening up a control panel. That's scary. It is Annabelle. Is that your name? It's not Annabelle. Is it Annabelle? I think it is Annabelle. Or something similar to that extent, right? Yeah, you are Annabelle. I was going to say, because I had you on Pocket Camp. Okay. The stream deck just closed. I don't know what's up with that. What if I just open it again? I think it's just broken. Hold on, maybe I need to replug it. Which one is it? This one? But yeah, it's because I was going to... Okay, let's test it works. Nice. Because... Yes, the catch-up stream. That's what's going to happen. So I'm probably going to have a catch-up stream today. After I eat dinner or anything like that. I don't know. We'll see exactly how the timing works out. But the main thing being... What's either going to be today? It could be tomorrow. But it kind of depends. I know I'm not talking about the Japan trip, but I mean, we'll get into it in a moment. This is the 5 minutes I spend talking about the daily updates. Because Digital Circus coming out on Thursday. Hello. You are Teddy, I think. The final episode comes out on Thursday in cinemas. Am I going to go watch it? Absolutely, I'm going to go watch it in cinemas. But the problem is, well, not problem really, but like initially the plan was I was going to go with some friends and watch it with them. Unfortunately, one of my friends has fallen a little bit ill. That's an understatement of a century from as I understand it, and you know, obviously not something that we want to like do a contagion, don't want to push him or anything like that, don't want to spread it, etc, 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 obviously. So now it's sort of like it's in a weird limbo at the moment where it's like I'm not sure it's gonna happen. It kind of depends on how they feel tomorrow, and we'll make a judgment call then. But that's how it's gonna go, because it's like if they aren't feeling up for it, then I'm gonna go anyway on Thursday myself. Oh, big top. And go watch it, which means I can't stream tomorrow. And Friday, I guess I could stream on Friday depending on how things go. No, I can't stream on Friday because that is art club. And then on the weekend I'm going to be busy. Wow, we have a lot of people out and about today. Is Kyle. Look, this is what I wanted. I wanted frequent visitors just to sort of like come around and say hi to. This is awesome. Fawnhallow feels so populated now. Now just triple the amount of people who can be permanent residents on the island, and then I'm good. Okay, maybe triple's a bit much, but still. This is what I wanted. But yeah. So Friday can't. Saturday I also might be, like, this is a thing, might also have plans with other friends, maybe. So it's all very sort of confusing right now of like what plans may or may not be happening, what could happen and what might not happen. Who knows? We're going to find out, you know? And we'll see. But what I've been meaning to say is that yes, that has left, basically, I was thinking about it in advance and be like, well, what days can I stream? That means Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for most likely days. Monday's a bit insane, I'm not going to stream 2 days in a row. Tuesday, so it was either Tuesday, which was yesterday, or today, Wednesday, and I was like, okay, I think Wednesday probably feels a little bit better. As it turned out, I definitely could have streamed yesterday, but I didn't. Doesn't really matter either way. So I'm just going to stream today. I don't think the stream's going to be very long today. I think it's only going to be like an hour and a half or 2 hours, depending on how long it takes me to finish it up. So it's not going to be a particularly serious, like, crazy stream. Like, I did it once before, I think in January. I just did like a late night stream where I just streamed for like an hour or a bit just to finish off a thumbnail art and then wrapped up as soon as it was done. I don't even know if I'll raid anyone because I'm just like, I don't even know who's going to turn up. It's more like for my own purposes of documenting the art creation process. But yeah, that's also why the stream VOD came out on the same day that the stream happened. I don't usually do that. I normally delay it by a week, but it's because I was like, if I don't do that, then the next stream I'm gonna have will be coming out like I have the emergency stream, well, the catch-up stream, which will then completely offset everything by 2 weeks, and I was like, I don't want the stream VOD to offset by 2 weeks, that's too much. So there you go. Anyway, sorry. Long and short, that's a streaming plan. I guess you'll probably could have talked about it in the stream today, but still. Anyway, what I'm going to talk about next thing in Japan. I don't know. What do we do? Let me think. I last spoke about samurai restaurant, and then what did you do? Then we went to have ramen. I remember that because I took some of my friends to Ichiran Ramen just to sort of show them like, hey, this is a very cool sort of like ramen place you can go to. It's basically like a vending machine. If you don't know it, it's basic. Am I going to talk about this other thing I did afterwards? That's a great question. Anyway, it's basically a ramen shop, which is reasonably popular because it's very popular if you're just like a solo person or two people, like a very small group, because it's sort of like, I would say it's in and out, except for it's not really in and out because now it's actually quite popular, so it takes, but depending on the location you're at, depending on how many seating there is. But the general idea is you have like these individual little like cubicles you basically sit in, you basically don't even interact with. The people who, the chefs out. What happens is you sort of queue up and then there's like a vending machine which you go up to and, oh, I don't have room for this as well, okay. We're not going to go to Halves Island because Halves Island's going to rope me into doing the wedding thing, which I don't want to do. You basically have to avoid Halves Island for all of June. Unless you want to get roped into doing the Reese and Cyrus wedding event, because you can't stop it. Oh, okay, it stopped working again, Stream Deck, nice. So let me quit out of it and reopen it. Stream Deck, there you go. No, stop working again. Okay, nice. What? This one works, but this one doesn't work. Why? The mic mute doesn't work, but the desktop mute works. How does that make any sense? Anyway, I better be quick before someone actually tries to visit me right now. But yeah. What else was I going to say? Yeah, I guess we'll talk about ramen place because I've already spent like 10 minutes talking about nothing. But the next topic, I was basically going to talk about Japanese fashion because that's kind of like the main thing I did afterwards. But yeah, it was like a ramen place, Ichiran Ramen. You have like these individual cubicles you go to, and basically what happens is you queue up, and then you go to like a vending machine sort of thing, which you can put in the vending machine being like, oh, what do you want to order? And I just ordered like the set menu sort of thing. But you can basically do like, I want ramen with like an egg and specifically exactly the pieces that you do or do not want. And yeah, and then you queue up again. I mean, you just like sit down in a little cubicle and you hand off what you've ordered. Oh, you fill in a little form as well, basically describing like how you want your stock. Like how rich do you want it, how much garlic and spring onion, something like that you want. I can't remember the other stuff. How spicy you want it. And then yeah, you take that form and you take the things that you bought from the vending machine, you sit down in front of your cubicle, and then you hand it to There's like a little like half window in front of you where you place down the things, and then the chefs are working behind that. Like it's like a little what would you call it? Like a counter space, like a little window. Except for you can't see the chefs at all. You just see like the lower half of their bodies, and they grab it, and then they look at what you do, and then they make you ramen, and then they give it to you, and then they close that little shutter. So literally, like it's a very, it's probably like a restaurant designed by an introvert who never wanted to actually interact with many people, which is, you know, fair. Would I consider myself in that category? I consider myself introverted. I wouldn't consider myself to that extent of introversion. So this is definitely Phoebe's. I don't know where Phoebe is. I'm not sure if we've seen her walking about or not. But I have no qualms with it because I think it's very nice to just be like, oh, you know, I'm eating by myself or something, you know, I could go out to a restaurant, or I could just go to Ichiran Ramen if you need. It's like, oh yeah, I want some, not fast food, because it's not fast food, it's not junk food. But it's like, I want the scheme of fast food, but with not fast food. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm not selling it in the slightest. I bet you are, Phoebe. But it's very convenient, and actually, like what it used to be like is you had like these dividers in between you, which you could choose to optionally put away or not put away, depending on if you were like sitting next to someone you wanted to talk to, or if you're sitting next to an absolute stranger. It seems like they changed it now, maybe due to COVID, and it's like forcibly they've got separation walls in between. So I sat next to a friend. We were lucky enough that we got to. There were like 4 of us, and I think most people sat individually, but us 2 sat next to each other. And yeah, it was just a bit random, like talking around the wall or something. But I quite like Ichiran Ramen. I like ramen in general, to be honest. Which is weird because apparently when I was younger I didn't really like noodles, and then I liked it more and more as I got older. But yeah, I mean, ramen's is good, to be honest. I feel like it was reasonably cheap as well, from what I recall, but I don't know. I can't really recall off the top of my head. But yeah, it's like very, very popular. Ichiran Ramen. Like, I think it's like a huge chain now. I wonder where is it only in Japan? Ichiran Nachu Tonkotsu Ramen. They should open it up in more places, to be honest. I think it'd be very popular. Oh, it is. It's in USA, Hong Kong, Taiwan. Ichiran no money. Ichiran no artist. Ramen crafted in nature. What's going on? Okay, fair enough. Message from the president. Company profile. So apparently it's in US. So if you're in the US, go for it. You can. Where in the US is it? It's in New York. There's 3 of them. So I assume they're the same. Solid dealio. Let's see. Can I see photos of it? Wait, is it like the little cubicles and everything? You don't have to worry about tipping. There you go. No, wait. US not ready for no stuff up front yet, I see. Interesting review. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a nice sort of like solo place to eat, to be honest. It's a sort of chill. You don't have to think about anything. It is, I would certainly say, wild having like a no contact sort of way of doing things. But I don't know, like to a certain degree I can appreciate it because it's like probably efficient, right? I mean, like from a waitstaff's perspective, from a staff's perspective, you're probably just like, oh, you know, I don't have to do a whole rigmarole of like pleasantries or whatever, or dealing like with face-to-face like customers who might be like annoying or, you know, troublesome or anything like that. Because let's be real, in any sort of service industry, you're going to find customers who are like that. I like to think I'm not. I like to think the people I'm friends with are not as well, but who knows? That's not for me to decide, to be honest. It's just very simplistic, just like, give me a form, I will make the food as specified on your form. On the other hand, it does, I suppose, raise issues where it's like, oh, you know, you can't really have much in the way of like, what if you want substitutions or anything like that? I guess this isn't not really a place for you. It's meant to be for like the average person, I suppose, to, and then go in, eat your food, get out. I don't know. I do remember at least a decade ago when I first went there, I was like, wow, this is really cool, you know. more restaurants should take that sort of vibe. Me now going to it, clearly I'm a different person. And I was like, it's a bit of like a weird vibe, to be honest. It's not like that, like there's definitely a place for it, but it's like, I think it's another thing when I'm with a group of friends, be like, yeah, it'd be nice to eat lunch together with a group of friends, be able to sit together and chat at the same time. But at the same time, I was like, I gotta show you this place. Like, I mean, it's like, you're not gonna find this sort of thing in like, in the UK at least. Well, maybe there's something like that in the UK, but I think it's like a very unique experience. Because, I mean, Japan has like a big sort of proponent, I suppose. Why do you look so sad, Big Top? It's a big proponent, I suppose, for a lot of these things, which is just like not interfacing with people. Like, that's why the vending machines are such a huge thing, and I would say actually very convenient, at least these Japanese vending machines. Be it called as. It's just easy, you just buy what you want, but you don't need to interact with anyone or anything like that. Which I can understand. I think because in Japanese culture, I suppose at least for interactions with shop, like in the UK, it's very much like a, hey, here's what I want. Do you need a bag? Nah, I'm good. All right, thanks. Have a nice day. It's very interesting how much of like the politeness is baked into, I suppose, the service culture, I suppose, in Japan. I'm not saying it's necessarily a good or bad thing, because I can't really judge. I don't live there, and I haven't worked in that industry in Japan, so it's like, what do I know? But it's like there's overly like politeness, right? Like hugely like well-mannered, like it's probably the epitome of like the customer's always right sort of thing. And like I think the thing that exemplifies is like even like having like count every single thing, like they show you a receipt, here you go, like was a formality, I suppose, to like them giving you things and handing them out, like stuff like that. Which I'd imagine, like, if that happens every single day, I think on most days I would be totally fine with it, but some days I'm like, look man, just give me the drink. That's what a vending machine's there for. Just be like, push button, there you go. I don't know. Is there a place for it? Yeah. Is there a place for other things? Yeah. Humans are social creatures at the end of the day. I think, even the most introverted of people, there's very few people I think who would want to go throughout their entire life without interacting with anyone. I think most people probably want to interact with people just to like different degrees and different extents, different mediums. Because there's a lot of like, I mean, maybe yourself watching this, a lot of introverted people who, hang out with people in real life is like fine, but also can be awkward. But hanging out and like discussing things online, like Discord, like social media, that is different and it's fine. And I think everyone's just got their own different ways of interacting with the world, right? So I'm not saying that there's not a place for this sort of Ichiran Ramen. I think it is cool, but I think there's a place for both, basically. And if anything, I think this is me sort of reflecting on how much I've changed. Because again, me 10 years ago was like, wow, this is great. Imagine how many more like restaurants could follow this sort of formula. I think, to be honest, now I'm looking back at it, I think younger me very much appreciated the efficiency of it. It's just like, boop, 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 here you go, here's your food. It's the same reaction I think I had when like the kiosks started coming out to fast food places. Instead of going up to the counter to order, I was like, I'm surprised they didn't do this earlier. This makes so much sense for like what fast food is trying to do. In the same way, it's like this makes so much sense for what Ichiran Ramen's trying to do. But just like, give me your order, here's your food. I will say there's something very uncanny, I think, about the fact that knowing there's like chefs behind there, sort of just like walking around, because they still say the like usual chef things, like irashai, stuff like that, like welcome, thank you, etc, 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 etc. But you just like never see who they are. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know the social ramifications there. I don't know the cultural impacts. I'm just saying from this one consumer who's gone a few times. It's pretty convenient. I think, like, I definitely found it most convenient when I went my second time to Japan, where I was just like, I did a lot of things by myself, like, not with my family, because there's things my family aren't so interested in. And I went, and I was like, alright, boom. What am I going to eat? Ichiran Ramen, boom. I think it's nice to have a ramen spot which is, like, not quite fast food, but, like, on the same scale of, sort of, convenience of fast food. Because I'll be honest, that ramen's pretty good. And plus I kind of like the novelty of it. I gotta remember that the novelty of it is still kind of there, despite the fact I have interfaced with it like multiple times now. Would it be cool to have one in the UK? Yeah. Will there be one? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. Is there a Wikipedia article on it? Ichiran Ramen. Let's see. Excuse me. Ichiran mean one orchid. distinctly unique amidst most other ramen restaurants offering a solo dining experience. There you go. The casting is close to allow the diner to focus on the ramen itself. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, like, and it's also like if you want top-ups, if you want to like ask the waiter or anything like that, you don't have to do anything. Like the paper chopsticks holder is a little form which you can use to fill in to be like, can I have a top-up or more ramen? Stuff like that. Here's the money. But they even, I saw on this one in particular, they had little like placards at the side which had like things written on in English being like, I don't understand how to order, or I don't understand like XYZ thing about the restaurant. Which is kind of crazy because I was like, by getting to that point, you had to pass through multiple people at this point. But I don't know. That's all very convenient. They even give you a cups and water, and yeah, I don't know. I wonder if the upkeep for that sort of restaurant's significantly easy as well. Anyway, I think it's cool. I think honestly, maybe more things could fulfill this sort of need. You know, things which have some level of customization, but also could fulfill the role of being like a quick meal. I don't know what would fall into that category. Like salad places, I guess. Or these things which have like custom like food box sort of things, you know, like a Farmer J's. Anyway, I don't know. I'm gonna round this episode up here. What am I talking about? If you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Adam across New Horizons. I've been here, darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's our farewells. Until next time. Bye bye for now. Alright, that one doesn't work either.